We have excellent connection. That's just unheard of. Hello, everybody.
That's what it's saying.
It's Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead.
Oh, there we are.
Now, do we have sound? I saw something that showed no sound. I don't know what that was.
Oh, here we go. Here's the problem right here.
Oh, you hadn't got that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm hoping we have sound. We have a delayed reaction, but maybe we do.
Eh.
You're going to have to go down
the
there?
The chat ain't come up. Hold on. I'm waiting on the chat. I know where it's at.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're finding it.
I'm having to stretch my arms out because the computer's way out in front of me.
Well, I'm sorry. I put us back a little bit.
You slid us way back, yeah.
Yeah, so we have leg room because I don't like hitting the...
Makes it harder for me to see the chat now.
Well...
These old eyes of mine just getting bad.
It can do this. We can come up. Well, nope, this ain't the board.
You're on the wrong side.
Okay,
the desk has it on the other side, yeah.
Yeah, we getting fixed.
Is it cold in your house? Yes, it's cold in our house.
Well, not really.
Not real cold.
What it is, we sat outside with some friends all afternoon and just got kind of a little cool. And
we just built a fire in here, so it'll take it a little while to warm up.
We'll be coming out of these shortly.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, thank you, Jan.
Thank you, Jan. Yeah.
Jan, Not a Real Farm, sent these. She's up there snowed in Canada, so she figured Deep South needed some warmth.
Actually, these came in handy when we went to the nursery.
Oh, yeah. It was great having these on because it was cold.
It was cold. Wind was blowing like 30 miles an hour. We were about to freeze.
The rutabaga was awesome. I took and cut up some... No, Danny did. He actually cut the rutabaga and some carrots, and I doused them in a little bit of olive oil and salt and air fried them, and they were amazing.
They were really good. As a matter of fact, it was almost like cutting butter.
Yeah, he said that.
When I was cutting the rutabaga up, the knife went through it just like slicing butter out of the refrigerator. I mean, it just slid right through it. And when you went to eat them, it's like it melted in your mouth. Remember we said that? We put one in our mouth, we was like, whoa, it just melted in our mouth.
It was really like having French fries, only it was rutabaga and carrot fries. This is the way I fixed them. So it was really good. We just hope some of the others kind of get that big.
I hope the others get up there. Well, time will tell, you know.
Yeah.
Never know. Oh, let's see. Louisiana's in the house, and have we ever tried natural safe fertilizer or something? Let me back this thing up here. I don't want to miss that. Nature safe. No, I never have tried nature safe fertilizer. I really haven't, so I don't know anything about it. There's about as many different kinds of fertilizer out there as there are people to have them.
Oh, my nose.
Amanda says, hello, everybody. Welcome to Civil and World War III. If the Ukraine keeps on, it could possibly lead that way. Of course, I don't know if it will actually go that far or not, but it's quite possible because Putin overseen a bunch of nuclear missile tests today, personally himself. Him and his advisor, I guess you might say, sat and watched all kind of ballistic missile tests today.
I see somebody from State Line, Mississippi, and somebody from
Stonewall, Mississippi. All over the place. We got
Long Island. A lot of people.
I worked at Long Island. I know all about Long Island.
You know what it was 20 years ago.
20 years ago, yeah.
You don't know what it is now.
It's probably a lot different now.
I bet what you worked on has been tore down and redone.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's quite possible. See, there's Miss Deborah.
Janet Purvis says just hours away now.
Wow. We ate the rutabaga, but we haven't eaten the tops.
We haven't eaten the tops.
We had company today, so we've just been kind of chilling.
Yeah. Have you ever used comfrey fertilizer?
We've used comfrey like chop and drop.
We've used comfrey in the chop and drop. We never have made like a tea out of it or anything because we just chop it and drop it. We've got this stuff growing in pots everywhere around here.
All right. They hate when you grow your own food, they being Henry Kissinger and Associates and Central Bank Cartel. Okay, I see parts of this stuff. It's running
JM
so
at the
fast.
Nut House, FEMA Region 9 here. Oh, man.
Yeah. We've got all kinds of stuff. What kind of fertilizer did you use when you planted your potatoes?
8-24-24. You need more phosphorus and potassium in a root crop than you do nitrogen.
How's your leg doing? You need?
It's about the same. I mean, I get around on it, but I can't stand up on it or anything like that. It's still not good.
Well, you can stand on it, but you can't.
No, I mean I can't. When I go to get up off of something, yeah. I got to have something to hold on to pull myself up. I can't just stand up.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But he hasn't popped it in about 3 weeks.
It's been about 3 weeks, but I can't straighten it totally out, and I can't bend it all the way up. So I don't know what it is.
Why do they not use natural fertilizer on big farms? Costs too much money. Hello from Roundup, Montana.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't use a natural fertilizer on big farms. Most of it's liquid ammonia. How they say that? Anhydrous ammonia is what's used on a lot of it because it's just so expensive to do anything else.
How late is too late to plant potatoes? It's according to where you are, right?
Depends on where you live at. Yeah, depends on how late, depends on where you live.
Karate chop any logs lately?
Nope, hadn't karate chopped no logs lately.
Howdy. There's Miss D.
Miss D, I saw that when she came in. Eliminated thistles from the pasture today. Well, that's good because if you get them before they go to seed, it's even better.
So
we got Eastern Canada's in the house.
Danny got all the boards Mr. Mickey brought this week. He's got them all down in the loft. And Wanda got back up there for a second time. Y'all don't know the story. The first time when we did the video the other day, he only had 5 foot done. And he said, "You can get around and walk around up here." And I said, "No." He said, "Yes, you can. There's 5 foot of boards
I had 5 foot of the floor down up there wide, all the way the length of the barn. I said, "You got plenty of room. You can run up and down through here."
"Nope, not me."
Not Wanda.
So I held on to the side of the wall and walked down to the other end and took pictures. And then helped on to the wall coming back. And then he had to hold the ladder so I could get down because I was freaked out with the ladder falling. And then he finished the flooring he had. And you got, what, 3/4 of it?
Close. A little over half. Just a little over half, to be honest. Yeah.
And so today, I said, "I need to take pictures." He said, "Well, go up there and take pictures. It's all up there. You can walk around anywhere." Yeah. And I had to walk slowly, and he had to hold the ladder for me because
yeah.
And that's supposed to be a good ladder.
That's one of them ladders that won't fall.
Well, I thought it was going to fall.
You just scared. I don't know why people get so scared.
Heights. Well, even with all the boards today, I can see off where there ain't no boards. I don't care that I'm 5 foot from where there ain't no boards. I can see over there.
Well, you drive a car and you can see out the window going really, really fast, but it don't seem to bother you.
Because what's over there don't matter.
Well, it don't matter when you're up there because you're not going to fall over there. You can't fall through a 2 foot hole sideways.
I could. No, it's really crazy because heights mess with me. And if I can see through there, it bothers me.
What crop is good to plant strawberries with? Believe it or not, it is actually green beans. Green beans and strawberries do fantastic together.
What do you think about black cow? Is it safe?
There is some controversy about that, but guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I have never met anybody, or I've never personally talked to anybody who had problems with black cow having grazon in it. I know lots of people who use it, and nobody has ever had a problem that I know. Yes,
I did see where the prepper preacher had passed away, and there is a GoFundMe. Somebody, I don't know if Lippy has it or not, but she can post it if she knows where it's at.
What are the dangers of gardening? The only danger I know of in gardening is the lack of.
If you give some people a sharp hoe, that ain't gonna work.
We
talked about that this
week. Deep South, how can I get a cow tested for A2A2? You have to, there's a couple of companies out there that you can get tests from. You have to pull the hairs from the end of their tail. You need about 30 or 40 hairs on it, and you have to jerk them up, and you got to make sure you get the roots with the hairs. And you take a piece of tape and you stick it onto them and leave the roots sticking up where they can test them. About 30, I think, say 30, 40 hairs or something like that.
It's
but the calf, companies. The calf needs to be at least 6 months to a year old to get an accurate test. If it's younger than that, the test will not be legitimate.
Hard work's the only danger in gardening.
If you enjoy what you're doing, it really ain't hard work.
Well, that's what danger of gardening is, addiction.
I think it's just a lack of it. It's addictive. It is addictive.
Amy says, I have gone weed crazy gardening. It's like chickens. It's addicting. Yes. Well, once you plant those seeds and start watching those seeds grow, and then once you get your first produce off of them and you taste it and it tastes like nothing you've ever tasted before, you're hooked. It's kind of like canning.
Yeah.
Once you start canning, you're addicted.
Mr. Danny, how did your potatoes do that you found growing out of season? They've all done fantastic. Mm-hmm. I mean, we have harvested potatoes and harvested potatoes that we didn't even expect, and we have ate many, many meals off of potatoes we didn't even have to plant.
Yeah, once you start, you can't stop.
That's just true.
Lack of knowledge on gardening makes it harder.
I agree. Heather, I agree with that completely.
Hey, Christine Beadle.
How far a distance are y'all from Lippy since they moved? About 8.
The same.
Not much difference. We're still about 8, probably around 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours.
Maybe 6 hours now where it was 8 before.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably 6.
She just went from this way to this way. She just moved from one side of the country to the other from us.
What crops can you grow year-round out of the high tunnel?
Whatever we want, just about.
No, see, they said out of the high tunnel.
Oh, not in the high tunnel?
There's not anything you can grow year-round out of the high tunnel here in the Deep South because the summers are so hot and the winters are cold. And there's strawberries, I guess, would be one of the ones. Or asparagus, strawberries, they all grow year-round here and do pretty good.
How do you feel now that you have a freeze dryer? Do you have any plans for your planting?
New plans for your planting. No, we don't actually change our planting schedule at all for anything. We just change the way that we preserve it. And the freeze dryer is allowing us to preserve a lot more food than we normally would.
In a different way. Now, I'm still going to be canning. And I'm still going to be freezing. And we're still going to be freeze drying. So it just adds another layer to our prep stuff.
Mr. Danny, what temperature should the ground be for field corn to germinate? If you can get the ground temperature to 60 degrees to 70, between 60 and 70, field corn will germinate really well. Sweet corn, you can go down to 40 or 50, but field corn needs to be around 60 to 70 degrees.
Barbara wants to know about soil for the GreenStalk. We use Schultz, but you don't have to use Schultz, but you do need a good potting soil with a time-release.
You need time-release fertilizer in any GreenStalk that you put up there, because if you don't, you have to mix fertilizer and pour it in the top continually.
Yeah, you would need to pour fertilizer, they say, every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And if you've got a time release, that just kind of helps if you forget or something.
Do you have any plans for freeze-drying videos coming down the road? I don't know if there's any special ones. We might show some more things that we're doing. But that'll probably be it.
Hi, Matthew.
Thank you, Sarah. We really appreciate that.
I just freeze-dried some homemade ice cream and some homemade eggnog. I don't know if I even showed that or if I did that on Crazy Days. I don't know. I do a lot of quicker things over on Crazy Days, and I get the two mixed up and forget what I've done where. But I'm trying to use up eggs in different ways, and since I like eggnog and I can use it in my coffee as a creamer if I had to, I made some eggnog, and I've done eggnog twice, and then I made ice cream this last time and freeze-dried vanilla ice cream. So it's great. I have two fruit.
I have two sweet gum trees. Well, it's going by so fast until, hang on. I got to stop and back it up, Sarah. Hang on just a minute.
Thank you, Sarah. He's gonna.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I have two sweet gum trees that have dropped twice as many seeds this past fall than they ever did before. I have no idea why. Any suggestions to help reduce the amount of seeds these trees make? First of all, it's a sweet gum tree. You probably just, the only way you stop it is just cut it down. Secondly, sweet gum trees, if the conditions are right in the spring, then they will produce tons of seeds. This year has been really good for lots of things, like acorns, sweet gum balls, poplar seeds, all that stuff this past year was really good because last spring we had a fantastic spring for things for seeding.
Somebody's asking, is it cheaper to buy the 3 books or as a bundle or separately? I thought I had it fixed where it would save you on shipping, because if you bought each one, I thought it would be charging you the shipping for each one. But looking at it today, I'm not sure if it's going to do how Etsy's working now. So it's blowing my mind. One time it'll charge you for every item, the shipping, and the next time it charges you shipping for one item. So y'all, I don't know if it's any less or not. It'll be approximately the same. It might save you $3 or $4.
Are damaged-looking seedlings worth growing? Probably not, because if you start off with a bad plant, you're gonna keep a bad plant. Let's see here. What does Ron have to say?
You.
Winter boar variety kale. I got years out of it in Alabama in raised beds. I've never grown winter boar variety kale. We always do the Siberian dwarf.
And we like that. It turned out pretty good this year. Have you gotten...
Hold on, Danny. My wife and I think Danny is a prophet. You were told to leave a church for speaking the truth, i.e. the Bible.
Oh. Have you ever given any thought to a floating garden in your pond, no watering?
No, because of the way the rain happens around here, the pond gets out of its banks and then it gets back in. It gets out of the banks, it gets back in. The weather's just too crazy.
The cow pasture off down in the neighbor's field or back behind us in the woods if we put anything in the pond.
Danny, will you be doing a Bible study? I do actually have a verse in a passage in Luke. I'm not going to tell you where it's at right now because I'm working on it. But it's going to be coming up in the future. I'm working on it right now. I just want to make sure I get everything like I want it. I'll be doing it just like I did the one in Matthew. We'll just be reading it and taking it verse by verse.
Yes, if you order the 3 trio, I called them, manuals together, I put free shipping. But if you order each one separately, it may charge you shipping for each one. That's why I fixed it the way I did. But don't ask me. I'm hoping it'll work out. Y'all just have to try it.
Mr. Danny, my pecan tree's not produced in 4 or 5 years. Any suggestions? It's more than likely a zinc deficiency because that's what happens to pecan trees. When they become deficient in zinc, they quit producing. And then another thing is that if it rains a lot while there has the male blooms hanging on the tree, you won't have any pecans. So it could have just been a bad year for that, and you may be lacking some zinc.
30-year-old orange tree no longer producing. Can I graft a different tree to it?
Wow, if you have an orange tree that's 30 years old, you got to live where it's warm at and don't ever get cold.
That's nice.
That's really nice. But you can graft on it. The age of the tree doesn't matter. How do we water our fields? The good Lord above does it. We don't water our fields.
We're blessed to live in an area that gets a sufficient amount of rain most of the time.
Plus, the water table here is only 10 foot from the top of the ground, so it's not that bad. Unless it does. We do have droughts.
We do have droughts on occasionally, and we have had to water the fields, which is a pain in the tush.
We did it 1 year. I remember we watered them 1 year.
Usually we just let it. If it dries up, we just let it dry up.
Just let it dry up.
We just heck with it. We've not had that happen too often, but it gets pretty dry. And the last 2 years we've had some pretty tough droughts.
Tough droughts. And look,
but the plants survive a good.
But let me tell you something. That's going to get even worse as time goes on. Our weather is going to go from extreme to extreme. It's going to be extremely cold. It's going to be extremely hot. I have told y'all for the last 2 to 3 years, our weather is going to be in extremes now. We're actually fixing to head into a time where we're only going to have 3 seasons, and then we're going to gradually go into a time where we may only have 2 seasons. We're going to go straight from winter to summer, and then from summer to winter, and don't be surprised if somewhere in the mix of all that, we have both seasons in 1 week.
We have it here all the time.
I mean, that's the way it is in the Deep South all the time.
We have summer, winter, spring, and fall in 1 day.
How do you know what commercial potting soil is good? Trial and error. That's what we do here. We've just done trial and error. We've tried Miracle Grow potting soil. It's worked pretty good for us. And we've tried Schultz potting soil. It's worked pretty good for us. Now, we haven't tried a lot of the others because those 2 have worked out pretty well for us. Now, we do use some black cow when we get a chance.
Jen at the Nut House says they had some 30-year-old trees on their property. She says prune and feed. She said hers almost look dead, and you prune them back some and feed them, and it'll help.
Have I ever used a ram pump? Yes, I have used a ram pump when I lived where there was a good stream at. But here we put the ponds in, and now we don't have a real big stream flowing through. So, and plus we have cows in the down where we do have a stream, and it wouldn't pay to put a pump in because the cows would just tear it up.
Somebody asked about canning beans in a water bath canner. I would not recommend it.
No, don't can any vegetables in a water bath canner.
Dried beans, you're going to take an hour and a half in a pressure canner. So I don't know what you would do if you water bath. You'd be there all day long, and I don't know that you could get it hot enough. So
you can't. It's not safe.
It's not safe.
It's not safe. Now, I have known people to water bath green beans in water bath canners, but they put a certain amount of vinegar in with the green beans so that they're acidy enough.
If you've got an older person that's done this kind of stuff, ask them. But if you don't, I don't chance it.
Danny, have you tried no-till farming? Yes, it flopped here in the Deep South where we live at. It was not worth it. We lost everything we had.
Bugs, insects, ants.
Hard soil to turn like concrete, weeds.
Don't think you ain't going to have no weeds. We have more weeds than we know what to do with.
Yeah.
Oh, but John Forsman said he's from Mississippi.
Oh, another Mississippian. You can get the pinto beans. Somebody said they couldn't find pinto beans to plant. You can get them from the grocery store in the bean section and just take them home and plant them. 99% of them will come up. I've done black-eyed peas that way. I've done red beans that way, experimenting with them, and I get crops every time with all of them.
Yeah, somebody needs to leave me alone.
I even done the white Christmas limas one time that way. The big old white pinto beans, I've done them.
Yeah, you can do most of them from the grocery store. If animal feed becomes scarce, what would you raise for meat? How many cows would you carry?
We would cut our herd back to probably a bull and 2 cows, and that would be it. We wouldn't do any more. And we would probably keep our chickens and let them free range if there was no feed. I mean, you just have to do what you got to do. That's why we go with Dexters, because Dexters will eat brush and weeds and stuff like that. They don't have to have this really good grass.
What about planting medicinal plants and seeds? Are you guys doing those? We have a huge variety of all kinds of stuff planted. I've done walk-arounds before showing a little of everything. I have an herb garden. Plus, in the landscape all over the place is some kind of herb of some sort. So ours are scattered everywhere. And we probably will add extras this year. We always do.
When can I move a rose bush? You can move it right now. You better do it before it starts budding out and blooming. I would do it now. Somebody needs to leave you alone because your nose is twitching.
My nose is just...
Wanda, let me tell you, Wanda can't keep her hands out of her mouth, her face, her eyes.
But right now, my nose feels like somebody's...
It doesn't matter. We can go anywhere. Wanda's constantly got her hands all over her face.
Because my nose is itching. Y'all need to leave me alone. It don't usually itch this bad. This year is the first time to build a PVC pipe tent tunnel. Yes, we do it all the time. We may have to over our carrots. Danny planted carrots, so we'll see.
What is a good fertilizer for peaches and pear trees? You probably gonna need some bone meal. You're probably gonna need some blood meal, and you're gonna need some lime because they like a very sweet soil.
Thor Gustafsson from Northern Wisconsin.
Thank you for all your advice from South Range of Lake Superior in northern Wisconsin. Thank you so much.
How do I order a Rooster tumbler?
It should go to the Etsy store. It ought to be there.
If there's still any there, it's a Rise and Shine tumbler, and it has the rooster on it. If not, I'm supposed to be getting some in maybe the end of this next week. So, just keep check every week or so. Let me tell them this. Or message
these questions are just zipping by.
At an email at deepsouthhomestead and let me know so I can place extras on my order.
What variety of field corn is best for pig feed? I would say Hickory King because it makes a very large kernel and it's not real hard. So I would do the Hickory King.
Is fish emulsion good for plum trees?
I don't actually know if fish emulsion is good for plum trees or not. I've never used it on anything like that. I basically just use fish emulsion on garden vegetable plants.
I don't know why it wouldn't be good on anything, seems like, but I don't know. Why do you tumble roosters? It's a tumbler like this. It's a tumbler.
It's like this.
But it's got a rooster on it.
We want to know, have you figured out the price to Canada yet for any of that?
For the books, I hadn't put one up, but I can. I'll have to go to the post office and see because this book weighs just a touch more than the others, and I'm gonna have to see for sure. Really? Let me say this: they ordered today so many that some of them's gonna be next week because we got to pick up the second order of books.
Yeah, we got to go pick up the second order. We haven't had more printed. They ordered so many. Is anyone else having trouble finding elderberries? I got to the 4th grower before I found one not sold out. I don't know. We have them here on our place, so we don't have to worry about that. There are a lot of woman prophets on YouTube. Is that biblical? No. It's not biblical. Do you own cows? Do your cows drink from the lower pond? Haven't seen a video lately. And what about ducks? We don't put ducks in ponds because ducks will destroy ponds. And my cows don't really drink out of the ponds. They drink out of the overflow from the ponds.
Now they were in the front pond for a while.
For a while they were in the front pond.
But we're letting the grass grow up in there, so nobody's in the front right now.
Thank you, Little Alaskan Home Place.
Oh, she's talking about the tumbler?
Yeah, I told you, the tumbler while ago.
Okay, I thought she meant the book.
No, the tumbler.
No, I don't know about that one. I'll have to see. Email me and remind me so I can check with them this week.
A female is not called a prophet. A female is called a prophetess. You asked me was a female prophet, and I said, no, there's no female prophets. They're prophetess.
It's just a different term. Male
they make me be politically correct. By gosh, I'm going to make them be politically correct.
We get all the time on this stuff.
I know it.
Male versus female. Oh, well, the deal is now you can't be male or female. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's
yeah,
right.
I guess so. It could be politically correct if you can't be male or female.
Yes, Michelle. Bone meal or blood meal will work on the other trees just as well. Idea on where to get satsumas, or is it too early? It's actually too late, unless you're talking about the tree. The trees just came in today or yesterday at a place we were at, but if you're talking about the satsumas themselves, I don't know about that.
Okay, you got me there, Danny. That's funny. Well, I mean, they asked a question, you answered it.
Well, I mean, I'm always getting my butt chewed out because I'm not politically correct. I might say revelations when people go, oh my God, I can't listen to you because you said revelations. It's supposed to be revelation. And I'm like, come off of it, guys. I'm from the South. I got to draw. You know, I mean, who cares?
Jody says, I am male. You can't be male or female. You got to be neutral.
Yeah, that's actually what what do they call them? At the high school, a counselor. A counselor from the high school told us they are not allowed to say male or female anymore at the schools. Or boys and girls. You can't say that. Backtoe potting soil works best for me. We did try some backtoe one year, and I really hadn't. I mean, I haven't used it anymore, but it didn't do anything bad.
What does green potatoes mean?
It means you're getting too much sunlight to your potatoes, and that is poison. You're not supposed to eat them if they turn green.
I think somebody asked, can you plant them if they saved them and they're kind of got a little green on them?
Oh yeah, you can plant them. Yeah, you can plant them if they're green. Just don't eat them.
Yeah. Yeah, we get all kinds of weird comments and craziness and politically correct things and all this, but now Boss of the Swamp put up a good one.
Yeah, Boss of the Swamp put a really funny one up.
Comments.
About crazy comments from people.
If y'all like him, go check out Boss of the Swamp and his crazy comments.
Just finished up squirrel and gravy. Gosh, that sounds good.
I'm full.
I know, but it just still sounds good.
Dirt versus soil.
I get chewed out about that all the time. To me, dirt is soil is dirt. It's all the same to me. But some people
today.
I know, I seen it. Somebody today got their panties in a wad because he's really a great guy. He just said, just saying, and I totally understand that. I didn't say anything back. I'm just sitting here thinking.
But we say dirt, and it all matters. It matters what you do with the dirt.
Yeah.
And if you do certain things to the dirt to make it good, then you have a really good soil. You know.
I mean, if I go into a store, I never ask them when I go into a store, do y'all have dirt? I mean, do y'all have soil? I always say, y'all got any dirt out there in the bags? And they're like, yes, sir. We got plenty of dirt out there in the bags. I'm like, okay. And let's go look at it.
Somebody wants to know when you should prune your raspberry bush. It's a second-year plant.
Raspberry bush?
I guess so.
Or a raspberry is not a bush.
It's usually a vine.
It's a briar. You can prune them anytime the cane's in it. So I prune mine now. I'll just be honest with you. We got some out here now, and we prune them now.
We are in Mississippi. When do you plant potatoes? We planted them this past week.
We planted our potatoes this past week. Yes, we did. Around Valentine's Day for where we live at here in Zone 8.
All right. Double A says, I'm going to be doing some biochar this year for the garden. They say to infuse with goodies. Some say to pee on it. Is powdered urea the same as urine? Can you use it the same way?
The urea that it's talking about is chicken fertilizer, more than likely. But human urine is just as good if you'll dilute it down with some water. It's got a lot of phosphorus in it, and it's got a lot of ammonia, nitrogen in it. It's not going to hurt anything. Just dilute it down.
What is the average price per acre in Stone County?
Well, it depends on where you're at in Stone County. It can range anywhere from $5,000 an acre up to $300,000 an acre if you live inside the city limits. So it just depends.
I seriously love y'all's channel. This is the first, I guess, live, and it said something about single mom. I'm sorry, I didn't get the name, but I was trying to read your comment. It just keeps flipping on us.
Okay. I have a tangelo tree. What variety do I need to go to get to complement it? Any of your tangerines, oranges, any of them trees will go along with it and cross-pollinate with it. In talking about, somebody says, carrots, peas, potatoes, all up Gulf Coast.
That's Mr. John.
Yep.
He's got all his up.
Got them all up.
What did you say mine was up? My potato? Or what did you say
I was talking
about
your, I didn't tell you nothing was up.
Yeah, you said.
I said these potatoes we planted down here a few weeks ago was up.
Yeah, those are up. Yeah, okay.
Okay, guys, this is the big moment that we've all been waiting for. This is the big reveal here at Deep South Homestead.
I think most of them done already ordered.
Well, they still a bunch of them. We're still going to get more printed anyway. Here we go. This is the new book. You can get it square there. This is the new carrot manual. We got the new logo at the bottom. But this is it. It's on our Etsy store. You can purchase them. It may take us an extra day or two to get them to you because the printer is having to print some of them out. But the book is loaded with information. As a matter of fact, in this book, I actually had them put 2 or 3 pages in the back of them as blank pages so you can actually write down when you planted your carrots so that you know when the right number of days is up, you will be able to say, hey, I planted my carrots on this day, and now I can harvest them. I know when to harvest them. So you can look back in your book and see when you planted. And then next year when you do it, you can write it down again and you can see if the dates change any based on the weather or anything.
A lot of them say they didn't order. Y'all, I know a lot of you done order because I've been writing my hand off all day trying to place orders, and then I looked a while ago and I had a whole bunch more orders.
Libby Hicks says, is that you with a carrot? Every picture in this book right here, yes, that's me with a carrot. Every picture in this book come from Deep South Homestead. We did not go online and take any pictures off online or anything. Everything in this book was done here at our place, and we know for a fact that it works because we have done it here. Not only that,
Will it work in New York?
It'll work anywhere in the United States. We have the sweet potato manual here on growing sweet potatoes.
I'll be right.
And then we have the English pea manual for growing English peas. That's me sitting right there in the pea patch. Wanda snapped a picture of me while I had my head down wearing my Amish hat. We have all these books right now. And hopefully in the near future we will have more when I get time to write another one. Squirrel sounds really disgusting. Squirrel is actually really, really good if it's prepared right. Let's see here. Thank you, Mr. Gerhard. We really appreciate that. Do I have a preference between Red Norland, Pontiac, or Lesotho? I tried the Red Norlands. I did not care for them at all. The Pontiac and the Lesothos are the two that I would plant. If I had my choice, I probably would go with the Pontiac or the Lesotho. Either one, it doesn't matter. They're both really good potatoes. Mama Bear said, Wanda is the 3-book set called Trio. I don't know if Miss Wanda had to step out for just a moment. I don't know what she has on Etsy. But I'm telling you, it probably is. It's probably 3 books that she has there. Danny, what will be your next manual? It's been a toss-up about corn. You know, whether or not I should do one on corn or whether I should do one on fertilizer. That's the one that we're...
Green beans and tomatoes.
Or green beans, tomatoes, you know, it's a toss-up. People keep wanting to know one way or the other, and I just haven't had time to figure out which one I want to do.
I think the green beans started and the tomatoes started. Both of them I started like 2 years ago.
How far should a cedar tree be away from an apple tree? Well, here at our house, we only have one apple tree next to our cedar trees. The rest of them are over 100 yards away.
They want fertilizer. Most of them fertilizer, I think. Sugarcane. Sugarcane's easy.
Sugarcane's easy to grow.
Like 3 or 4 pages.
Oh yeah, that's only like a couple of pages.
Then we'd have to do the whole process and syrup thing, so then it could be longer.
Yeah, then we could make it longer, yeah. This Jan says, I don't eat tree rats, laugh out loud. Lots of people don't. I grew up on them. It doesn't bother me. Now, I don't eat armadillos, and I don't eat possums. I have eat raccoon, but that's about it. Yeah. My banana plant died but had 2 babies. Should I leave or separate them? Banana trees are all right as long as there's no more than 3 in a group. If you get more than 3, you need to dig them up and move them.
And fertilizer substitutes.
Is squirrel better than rabbit, Danny? Probably not, because rabbit is just a really good tasting meat.
Yes, the 3 book is the trio.
Okay. She said
all 3
yes.
of them together. Yeah.
Not a real farm. Jan says, I've never tried squirrel. It's really good, but it has to be prepared in the right kind of way so it's not tough.
Which potatoes were the least starchy for y'all?
The least starchy one for us is probably the French fingerling.
Yeah.
That's probably the least starchy one. Now, the worst one was the German butterball. That thing, if you made mashed potatoes out of it, you could throw a spoon across the room, and if it hit it, it'd stick in it like a piece of wood.
Would sugar cane grow in Zone 7 in West Tennessee?
I probably, in West Tennessee, would probably go with sorghum. I don't know that I would try sugar cane. And the reason I say that is because your weather's fixing to change in the next year. You're not going to be able to grow what you normally grow. You're going to be getting colder in the wintertime and hotter in the summertime.
Squirrel in a crock pot. So what have you actually done this week besides work on the barn?
That's all I've done is worked on the barn. I cut my GreenStalk out.
He did do that. Yeah, he did do that. Did we plant any? No, we went and got the trees. We hadn't planted them. We did go get the trees.
We went and picked up some citrus trees this week. We just haven't planted them yet. We planted English peas.
That was last week, wasn't it? Was it this week?
It was this week. It was right ahead of that rain.
Maybe the first of the week.
Yeah, it's the first of the week.
Yeah.
Have we ever watched Cowboy Kent Rollins? I know Cowboy Kent Rollins real well. Why, him and his way of cooking and his way of doing things, I tell y'all what, we're going to have a shindig here today at this place. Me and old Doc and his dogs down there, he loves them dogs now. Oh, man. Oh, I know Kent real well.
I like to watch him because I like to see what he's doing.
Mama Bear says, I can't find the 3-box sets called Trio.
It's
on the Etsy store.
It's got a picture. I don't know what's going on with Etsy, but I've had several people say something about they can't find something on Etsy. When I go over there, everything's there. So I don't know. I've had like 6 different people send me messages. It's not on Etsy. It's not on Etsy. And I'm like, I go over there. It's there.
It's there. Okay. Have we ever canned butter? Yes, we've canned butter several times. I have no problem.
Several videos on it.
Got lots of videos on canning butter. Everybody's talking about squirrel. Do we ever hunt mushrooms where we're at? No, we have no mushrooms where we're at to hunt. All of our mushrooms are poisonous.
Well, I mean, I take pictures of them sometimes, but I don't eat them.
Will pearl millet grow in a wooded area in Florida, or does it need to be special soil prep? Thank you. No, pearl millet will grow just about anywhere under any soil condition.
Yeah, and Ron's talking about different things that you can use instead of fertilizers. That's where we're going this year. We ordered in all kinds of things that we can use instead of commercial fertilizers. And then we've got things like vinegar. What else was it? Molasses, cornmeal.
Cornmeal makes a great fertilizer.
There's all kinds of things that you can use if you just keep researching. you gotta think outside the box, and eventually we'll start doing some videos when we start getting plants going and different things on what we're using on each one. But I've been looking at all kinds of alternative fertilizers this year because we don't want to get caught without something to fertilize. But we have our fish emulsion, and then we have our ponds, and we have our worm beds.
Do you have recipes on figs? We was gifted a lot of. We have lots of recipes on figs.
I have the strawberry fig preserves and whole figs and candied figs, I think, up. And then I have fig Newtons if you want to make fig Newtons.
Let's see here.
I don't remember what else recipes I've done.
Drew said, just looked at Etsy Trio was the first thing that popped up.
And then other people are saying it's way further down. Yeah. It must rotate.
It depends on who you are and how you pop in. Will one pecan tree produce? It will, but not really good. You actually need 2 of them for them to do good. That's with any tree. Even though it says self-pollinating, you really need 2.
How long will canned butter last? I would say up to 5 years. I've kept mine 3 years. I've never really kept mine longer than 3 years, but I've heard people say 5. But I rotate a lot, and I usually use mine within 3 years.
What do you suggest is the first thing to grow? We do potatoes and English peas first. That's the 2 things we do first.
Can you use old wheat flour as fertilizer? I don't see why you couldn't, but I would look it up and see what you can use it on. Because cottonseed is another one, and I know most of you don't like cottonseed.
Cottonseed meal is another one.
But you can order cottonseed meal. Is a really good fertilizer. I bought land, and on it there are a few rows of pear trees, 12 to 14 feet tall. I think cherry trees as well. They are touching each other at the base. They never got replanted. They've been left for 10 years.
I wouldn't fool with them. I might prune them back, but I would not try to move them or anything, because you'll probably kill them at that age to try to move them. I would just prune them back, and don't prune them back no more than 1/4 per year until you get them down to a size where you can handle them. If you take too much out in 1 year, you could damage the tree. So do it like 1/4 of the distance down till you get it to the height you want. It might take 3 years to get it there, but being patient might save your trees.
Just hit that blue arrow.
I know it, but I'm sitting here. Did you know where I could find strawberry watermelon? I think Hall's Tool had strawberry watermelons.
Yeah, I don't know. Where should I plant your Amish paste tomatoes in Southwest Florida? 9.
When? Not where. When?
Oh, when?
After all, well, you need if you're in Southwest Florida, you could probably go ahead and start growing them now and just put them out. As long as you know there's not going to be any frost, put them out, because the bottom line is no tomato plant will set blooms when the temperature gets over 85 degrees very well. So Amish paste like it a little bit cooler.
Somebody's wanting to know, do you have a step-by-step suggestions on what to do right now? They have a small homestead. They work a full-time job. They need a direction on the next important things for sustainability.
Oh, man. I'd have to think about that for a moment.
We don't have like a step-by-step.
Do y'all have a step-by-step suggestion on the most important things to do right now? Okay, the most important things to do right now is to secure a water filtration system, a way to heat your home without electricity or gas, a way to cook, and a fresh water supply. Those things are tops in my list. It'd be the first things. It might be my suggestions.
And then maybe have your food and your medicine.
Your food and your medicine would be next. What do you do for Colorado potato beetles? We don't have them here. Luckily, all my years I have kept them things away from here, and we don't have them. All right, let me get back to where we're supposed to be at.
Any recommendations of plants for a stagnant natural wetland area? They live in a swamp.
They live in a swamp. That's what I said. When should I plant Star of David seeds in Southwest Florida? 9A or B? As long as it's not going to frost and it's not going to get colder than 40 or 50 degrees, you can go ahead and plant your okra.
So you didn't answer about planting in a...
I mean, you didn't say nothing about planting.
Wasn't that what they asked? What to plant in a stagnant... Well, I said a swamp. Rice?
I'm fixing to say probably rice. I mean, that was the first thing that came to my mind was rice.
I don't know. We don't live in
that kind of an area.
Somebody's saying lowland rice.
Yeah, I mean, the rice is the only thing I could think of. How can I find my altitude pressure for canning? Just go online and Google wherever you live at, the sea level for where you live at. And if it's lower than 1,000 foot, then you're going to want, what do you do, 15 pounds or 10 pounds of pressure? You do 10 pounds. It's 10 pounds under 1,000 feet is 10 pounds, I'm pretty sure.
If you live high up in the mountains.
If you live up above 1,000 foot, then you're going to have to change to 15 pounds of pressure.
There were some things that I saw.
Elderberries likes to grow where it's wet because we have elderberries growing down there in our bottom down in yonder. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have elderberries growing down there. That's right.
All right, we missed it. Y'all just have to repost. I can't help it.
Willow trees love to grow in a wet spot. We have them growing around our pond.
Yeah.
Banana trees like growing in a wet spot. It's just finally coming to me here. These things like growing where it's wet at.
Do you think we will grow gardens in heaven or what?
I know there's going to be fruit in heaven, and there's going to be fruit trees in heaven because the Bible says we'll sit down by the river of life, and there'll be 12 trees by the river of life, and the leaves of the trees will be for the healing of nations. So I know there'll be fruit trees. I don't know about anything else.
Well, did it say fruit trees or it's just going to be healing trees?
I believe it's fruit trees, though.
That's your belief.
That's my belief. It's fruit trees.
Okay, it said trees for healing. Why does the 20% get by with controlling the 80%?
Because the 20%...
Because 80% let them?
The 80% keep their mouth shut and don't do nothing and keep their tail tucked between their legs, and the 20% rule because they don't mind getting out there taking the chance.
Thank you, Blue Wolf.
Thank you so much, Blue Wolf.
Cattails in the lowland area.
Mayhaws like it. We remember our mayhaws are planted down there where it's wet at. Yeah. No work in heaven. Hey, that's what I'm looking forward to.
He started with the garden. He's going to end with the garden, right?
I'm hoping so. What kind of laying chickens do you recommend? You need a heritage breed if you're going to need laying chickens. Rhode Island Reds are probably and Buff Orpingtons, the yellow Buff Orpingtons, the what do they call
Barred Rock, but the
Barred
Rooster's
Rock,
a mean little joke.
No,
not the Rooster.
Americanas are really good. Bantams are really good. They're all good as long as they're a heritage breed.
What would you build a raised bed out of today?
If you can't afford cedar, cedar's great, western cedar. But I use treated material because I'm going to tell you what, the treated material now is micronized copper. It's not going to hurt anything you do. This question here went through a dozen times. My husband is building me an awesome garden. What does he need to do to the soil? First thing is you need to find out the pH of the soil, and then you need to test it to see what nutrition it needs once you get it full of soil.
And then add whatever nutrition it needs.
Yeah.
Right?
ABCXYZ says, now, Danny, you know, you'll be begging the Lord for a job to do.
I'm
pretty sure the Lord's going to give me a job when I get to heaven because everybody I've ever been around has told me I needed to be working. And I don't see the Lord being any different.
All right. Let's see. Sitting around idle for eternity. Not likely. Nope.
Nope. You're not going to be idle. If nothing else, you'll be praising the Lord. You'll be doing... I mean, there's going to be things to do. Don't get me wrong. I mean, heaven is a glorious place, but we'll enjoy life. I mean, Adam had to tend the garden. I mean, and he was in Eden, so it's probably not going to be much different.
Miss Gail said the town of 250 people where she lives just gave her 30 days to get rid of her chickens. Wow.
Well, I don't know how I'd take that. I tell you what, I probably might get rid of my chickens, but I'd replace them with quails.
What type of weed cloth do we use?
We used DeWitt. I believe it's 4 mil DeWitt. It comes from Grower Solutions. Is the ones that we use.
Is it okay to have a railroad tie in the garden?
You can. Just be aware that there are a lot of creosote in it, and it's not really good for your plants.
Can I plant potatoes now?
Depends on where you live.
Do you have a good source recommendation for blueberries, not the high bush?
Well, that would be the low bush then.
Is the Brayson tins helping? That's went through several times.
Yes. I'm able to walk around on my legs, so yes. We don't have low bush in the deep south. That only grows where it's cold at. So you would have to just check in your area.
All right. Miss Paula says she's laughing at your lack of political correctness. I'm so tired of political correctness. Haven't been PC my whole life. I'm 71 and I'm not changing my language.
Neither am I, Miss Paula. I
try, but it just don't work sometimes.
I try a lot of times, but I tell you what, it just don't happen, and I'm sorry. If people can't, you know, if you just can't figure it out, I don't know what else to tell you. The Lord understands me, and I figure if the Lord understands me, everybody else ought to.
Well, we've been saying things all our life, and Danny and I talked about this week. There's words that we grew up hearing, using in one way, and now the evilness has taken it a different way.
That's like a rainbow. I'm not going to quit doing anything with a rainbow just because the LBGTs or whatever they are decided that it's something they want to use. God owns the rainbow, not anybody else.
Yeah, and you know, there's words we've used all our lives, and all of it, the meanings have changed. And so now we're scared to say, that's what people say, I'm scared to say that word because it means something different. Well, we grew up saying it.
Somebody asked a question that just went by. What kind of fertilizer to put on your potatoes? Potatoes like phosphorus and they like potassium. They don't like a lot of nitrogen, so because we plant such a large area, I can't afford that much bone meal and blood meal, and plus it won't do that good on potatoes anyway. So I just use 8-24-24, regular fertilizer. Will there be animals in heavens? One of them was asked a question. You know what?
What does the Bible say?
I believe there probably will be animals in heaven because in the Millennial Kingdom, the Bible says that the children will sit down and play with the snakes, and the sheep and the lions will graze grass together, and if it's in the Millennial Kingdom, I don't know why it wouldn't be in the Heavenly Kingdom.
I'm laughing at Jen.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. Okay, Jen. I ain't repeating her comment right now, but anyway.
I agree with you, Jen, 100%. If you can't do this right here, let me tell you something. If you can't do this right here and figure out what you are, you got more problems than you can solve. I'll promise you. Somebody needs to send you on over to a little patty whack house and put the rubber walls around you because you got a big problem.
Yeah, and they were saying something about praying for the people in Ottawa and all the things that are going on there.
Yeah, I saw the truckers were leaving today.
The truckers headed to D.C. to keep them in your prayers.
Yeah.
What did I tell you before we got on? Miss Linda, we've known her for several years, not like personally, but we met her several years ago, and we kind of keep in contact with her on Facebook and through messages. Her husband passed away this afternoon, and we want to remember her. We met her in Tennessee.
Yes.
When we were in Tennessee that year.
Oh, what's the best radishes to grow? Kyle, it just depends on what kind you like. There's about 20 different kinds of radishes out there, and you just pick one of them. They all have a little bit different taste, so it just depends on which ones you want.
Isn't Jesus coming back to Israel to rule and reign for 1,000 years?
Yes, during the Millennial Kingdom, yes.
Prayer request for Abama's mama. She has dementia. Let's see. It said that the Bible that Jesus will be riding on a white horse.
That's when he comes to do battle. It doesn't say it's going to be in heaven. It just says when he comes to do battle, he'll be riding on a white horse.
That's okay, Lippy. I don't know. I saw somebody say there was one, but I don't know where you would look for Prepping Preachers GoFundMe. I don't know where to find it. I just know they said there was one. Didn't the country go bonkers when we all stopped trying to be their kind of normal? Yeah, I guess so.
I hope there will not be any mosquitoes in heaven, Double A said. I hope not.
And fire ants.
No, they won't be nothing like that in heaven. You ain't got to worry about that. Heaven is a perfect place.
Fire ants. That's
heaven. The only fire ants will be in hell.
Oh, Miss Allison found it. Thank you. All right. Will beneficial nematodes help control bugs in the garden?
They help to control the bad nematodes, and they do help control some insects in the garden that burrow into the soil and lay their eggs, but they don't do for everything.
Why is the number 3 so prevalent in the Bible?
Why is the number 3? Number 3 is the first of 4 perfect numbers. It deals with the Trinity. It deals with resurrection. It deals with lots of different things in the Bible. That's why it's so important. You have the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. It's just it is classified as the first of 4 perfect numbers in the Bible.
How do we deal with mosquitoes? We really don't have.
We don't have mosquitoes bad here. We get them every now and then. There'll be a few, but
I've been here
they're
over
not
8 years, almost 9 years. And
first of all, let me say this:
I don't have very many.
If you have a problem with mosquitoes biting you real bad, you probably have a niacin deficiency in your body, because mosquitoes can sense that and they will eat you alive.
Last week on an Ottawa Trucker Live, they had your live on their feed. They were displaying 4 YouTube channels at once. Wow.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Thank you. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that either.
Speaking of numbers, I see 911 a lot.
Yep, I agree with you.
All right, what foods have niacin in them? You'd have to look.
You just have to Google that one and look it up and see which foods have the most niacin in it. Niacin is actually a B vitamin, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, what are the other perfect numbers?
Let's see, you got 3, 7, 9, and the other one. I used to teach biblical numerology, but it's been many, many years ago. 3, 7, 9. 1, 3, 7, and 9.
Would you choose standing seam or regular metal roof for a new roof replacement?
If you can afford standing seam, it is the best, but it is very expensive.
Compost tea is easy and free. And you can make compost tea out of most anything.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots and lots of different types of compost tea. Or teas in general. I mean, you can make a garlic tea and stuff for bugs. There's numerous teas if you look it up.
Somebody asked, is Husqvarna better than Stihl? It's a personal preference.
What about 12? I guess they're asking.
12 is a number for government in the Bible. It deals with authority. There's 12 disciples, 12 apostles, 12 gates in heaven. 12 is a number that has to do with government all throughout the Bible.
All right. Paula says, I like Cowboy Ken Rollins. Do you reckon his accent is authentic?
I kind of doubt it. He just looks like the kind of guy that's just his TV thing that he does.
I think he's original.
I'm not sure. He's from Texas, I think, but I'm not.
That would be original then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fertilize for a Catawba grape.
I don't know. I've never grown a Catawba grape, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure it would be just like any other grape out there, just a standard all-around good fertilizer. That's not too strong in ammonia though, or nitrogen, because it'll make the vine grow really fast and not put on a lot of fruit. Is a grubworm a cutworm? No, a grubworm is not a cutworm.
All right.
What does the number 13 mean biblically? Number 13 is a number for sin in the Bible.
Any recommendations for fire ants and raised beds and whole yard for that matter? We have them here too.
We got them here the same way. The only thing we found that gets rid of fire ants here, and we're talking about the imported fire ants now, not regular fire ants, is gasoline. That's the only thing we found that gets rid of them.
Dee says he's real. She saw him in Branson. I figured that's the way he talks. Because he sounds like a Texan. That's just them. Some people sound like where they're from.
Yeah.
Can you freeze tomatoes?
Yes, you can freeze tomatoes. You can freeze them whole with the skin on them. As a matter of fact, the skin comes off a lot faster if you do that.
What is your opinion on cremation?
I don't think it matters one way or the other. It all depends on what you want to do or whoever your caretakers want to do with you. Because whether once you die, there ain't nobody, you ain't got no say over it anyway. It all depends.
It's whatever somebody.
It's all what the person behind you wants to do.
All right. Let's see.
Most grubs are just beetle larvae. Grubs are mostly June bugs. Most of the grubs we have here turn into locusts in the ground, but it takes a long, long time for them to do it. Drew Miller says, I don't know anyone in Texas who speaks that way every day. That's what I'm talking about.
No, not everybody, but I'm talking about cowboy type people that's what he's portraying, I guess is what it is. 100-year-old fruit tree nearby. Any suggestions on cuttings? I guess to start new plants.
The only thing that's good off of, you want cuttings off of it, or they're called scions, if that's what you're talking about, is it has to be last year's growth. It can't be over 1 year old if you're going to get a cutting off of it.
There's Jesse James outdoors. Hello.
Hey.
He made a live.
He made one of the lives.
Danny did a podcast with Jesse James outdoors like a couple of months ago, maybe?
Yeah, it's been a couple of months ago.
They had a lot of fun with
We
that.
did a podcast and really enjoyed it.
And we did a couple this week.
We done it, yeah.
Y'all have to go check them out. What was this one called?
We do use neem oil. Yeah, that question. The number 40 in the Bible is a number for testing. And Moses was in the wilderness 40 days. Christ was in the wilderness for 40 days. Noah.
It rained 40 days.
It rained 40 days of Noah. 40 is a number for testing.
Danny actually sang a little on the podcast.
Yeah, I did a podcast this week with me and Wanda, and I actually sang on it for a little bit. We were joking around. I was doing a little bit of singing on it. We were enjoying it. So if you want to watch me sing or hear me sing,
or not,
you might want to go check out this past Friday's.
What was it called?
Podcast. I forgot what we named that one. Peace and Harmony.
Peace and Harmony, yes.
The one on Peace and Harmony.
And you can find it anywhere you find your podcast, or you can go down in our descriptions of our videos, and it gives you a direct link to the podcast where you don't have to have a podcast download.
Yeah.
You can go directly to it from a couple of places. Our website, deepsouthhomestead.com, has it listed. You can go directly to it without a download. What is 9 in the Bible?
9 is divine deliverance in the Bible. It's called it's called the divine number. The other one is number 7 is also called a divine number in the Bible.
What's the number 11?
Oh goodness. 11 is a number for judgment in the Bible. You got to give me a minute. It's been 20 years since I taught biblical numerology. 11 is a number for judgment.
You didn't sing Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, did you?
No. Next Tuesday is 2/22/22.
Yeah, I knew that was coming up.
Yep. How do they milk a soybean? You got to have little bitty hands. No, I don't know. I mean,
they want you to do a numerology lesson on porch time. That's a pretty good idea.
I have thought about it, I guess. I could.
Anyway, this is a quilt behind us that was made for us, and it will go to the cabin shortly. I've got to take it down before long because I've got to get in this closet. It's hiding the closet door.
Yeah.
I can't open the door with that quilt up there.
And Brooke is correct. 7 is also what's called the number of completion. When you see the number 7 in the Bible, it deals with things being complete. 7 days were created. You know, the world was created in 7 days. Everything was complete. I mean, you just get, there's a whole line of things that goes with the number 7.
711's a convenience store. Yeah. What does 222, Mr. Danny, say? 222 was something to do with a show one time. I don't forget.
I think so.
That hits a show.
Yeah, kinda,
I don't remember, but I do remember the number. Oh, they're talking about the 222 next week, the date.
I don't know that it actually means anything. Unless it's the day after the new Trump media thing's supposed to go online. Because it's supposed to go online on it's the 21st, Trump's thing goes online.
I just know that it's going to be 2/22/22. And somebody said at 2 o'clock, 2:22 in the afternoon or so. I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to mean.
The best is the earnest impersonations. My daughter Jennifer loves the Christmas one where he's got the rattlesnakes in the back of the truck and he gets up there and he goes, "You want one for your boy?" You know? She loves that. She just dies out laughing every time that she hears that. Wanda's thinking of Room 222 shows in the 70s.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Gemini says, "No, I see 222 for the past 5 years now."
Okay, she's going to have to message me on
Jesse
that one.
James Outdoors says Truth Social. Yeah, the social thing comes online.
Yeah.
Urban White Buffalo said, "It's just a bunch of twos." Yeah. Adam was created on the 6th day for 1,000 years from Adam to Christ, 2,000 years from Christ to the end of the earth, a little over 6,000 years old then. So, wait a minute. Is
the
Earth is only a little over... I agree. Well, it's kind of hard to say if the Earth itself is actually that old, because between Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, there's a lot could take place between those two verses. And if you ever read them in Hebrew, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
All right.
Ernest is funny. Yes, he is. His funniest video to me ever, his funniest movie to me ever was where he done all the impersonations of taking over a fort. And I thought that one was probably his most classic one that there is out there.
Do I sew? I used to. I have not sewed in many, many years. My mom was a seamstress. She can sew like crazy. She used to sew all kinds of stuff and make stuff for people. She was sewed for the women of the community and everything. And she taught me how to sew. And I did sow a lot when my children were really young. And then it got to where it was easier to buy stuff because it was not that expensive. So I quit sowing.
Will there be dogs and cats in heaven? I don't want to bust your bubble, but probably not. I'm just being honest. But
well, you said one time you thought animals might be.
Some animals the Bible mentions, but the Bible never mentions a dog or a cat being
so what does it mention?
It mentions lambs and lions and stuff like that.
Well, lion's a cat.
But no, technically, it's a technicality. Now you're getting politically correct on, but that's in the Millennial Kingdom. Now that's not actually in heaven.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
I don't know if there'll be any animals actually in heaven.
That's hard to say.
That's hard to say because I don't know of a Bible verse that actually says there will be,
or that there won't be.
Right, but also, I can't say that there's not going to be. So don't hold me. Don't hold me to that because I can't really say either way.
Thank you, JC. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be hard to say, but.
Prentice says they've been ordering medicinal herbs to prepare prepping made tomorrow.
Stonehouse Farm says that you mentioned the propane gas messing with you. He said his wife has a lot of asthma problems, so he's wondering if it's the propane.
Mine, it makes me dizzy. It makes me lightheaded. It doesn't matter.
He smells it.
I smell it and don't even, I can smell it when I walk in the door of a house if an oven is on.
He can tell anytime we go somewhere they have gas. When he walks in the door, he knows they have a gas
I can tell you if there's a gas oven in the house when I walk in the door.
It messes with him to that extent.
Yeah.
But he also has super sensitive smell and stuff, so anything weird can affect him. Thank you for the seed starting mix video. I sifted my mix tonight and the starting soil was so awesome and fluffy. Yes.
It works out really good. What is the Millennial Kingdom? The Millennial Kingdom is a 1,000-year period that takes place right after the Battle of Armageddon here upon the earth. The Lord is going to give man 1,000 years without Satan is going to be bound up in the bottomless pit for 1,000 years. He's going to give man 1,000 years without the influence of the devil, just to prove to mankind that even if Satan is not here to influence him, he will still be wicked, because at the end of the 1,000 years, God's going to turn Satan loose for just a short season, and he's going to deceive like a third of the population of the world in a very short period of time. And they're going to try to turn against God, and God is going to destroy them and cast them all into the lake of fire.
Do you have any Creole tomato seeds for sale?
We have some Creole tomato seeds, but we don't think we have them up on Etsy.
I don't think so, but I don't know. I'll have to look and see.
You would just have to send us an email.
Yeah, and let me see.
And let us look.
Man, almost $300 today for 100 pounds of propane.
Yep, and it's going to get even more. I hate to say these kind of things, but that's the reason I tell people, do a wood-burning fireplace and not gas or electric.
All right, so we're way over our time. I don't know if you have anything else you want to...
No. We pretty much... People,
Hey, Cameron. I think he jumped in there. Just planted another 200 ginseng plants. Wow.
Whoa, that's a lot. She said they weren't on Etsy earlier today. They probably weren't, but just send us an email and we'll tell you.
Have you heard of the Book of Thomas?
I have not heard of a book called... Yes, I have. I have to go back on that. Yes, I have heard of a book called Thomas. I can't tell you anything about it because I've not read it, but I have heard of it.
We have 2 ponds.
Yes, we have 2 ponds on our land. In our playlist, we have videos showing the ponds being built.
All right, so...
Are fruit trees and fruit bushes from farm stores any good? It depends on how you plant them and if you get the right one for your area.
Jonathan said, Tuesday he gets a full knee replacement. He's thinking of you. He's only 56 years old.
Yeah, they probably want to do that to me, but I'm not going to let them.
Yet.
No, well, I'm not going to let them do it, period.
He's hoping not to have that kind of stuff done. Right now, he's not. He's still getting around, let's put it that way.
As long as I can walk.
And not in severe pain.
And not in pain, it doesn't hurt at all for me to walk. I just can't bend it all the way. I'm not going to have anything done.
Miss Gail says she's 71 and never been alone, so pray for her. Her husband had passed away.
Yes.
And then...
I can feel for you. I was the same way when my wife passed away.
And then we need to remember Miss Linda, too.
Yeah.
State of Georgia has
shut down chicken sales and production and so on. Guys, Kentucky's another one that's probably fixing to follow in its footsteps. This avian bird flu is starting to show up everywhere, and they're going to start shutting all this stuff down.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, man.
So.
Let's see here. Frankie said, just got my greenhouse from Grower Solutions. Now I got to get it up. Hey, amen. Just get it up. Bone broth is great for joint injuries. That's correct. I've been eating a lot of bone broth here lately, and I'm hoping that that's helping my knee out a lot because it doesn't hurt. It just, I can tell it's not right, but it doesn't hurt.
I think that's helping some, and some of
and
our...
Plus, I keep going. I don't stop.
Yeah, and our juice, I take out our scuppernong juice, which is like a grape juice.
Yeah.
And grape juice is a great healer. So this is just like a southern grape, I guess.
Will I ever do a step-by-step most important things for sustainability to do now, even for broke single moms and everyone else? I have a small homestead, but looking for the next most important. I've done lots of videos. I mean, talking about it on Porch Time and all kind of different things. I never have actually just dedicated a video, I don't think, to that. I mean, we got thousands of videos out there. It's possible that I have, but I don't remember if I did.
Would you be able to connect me with Miss Linda? Maybe we could help each other out. Miss Gail, can you message Gemini Homestead? No, it wasn't Gemini Homestead. It was Scratch-Made Homestead.
Yeah.
Scratch-Made Homestead can put you in contact. Look Scratch-Made Homestead up on YouTube and message Leslie and tell her I sent you. And Leslie can probably help you get in touch with her.
D is right. Mad cow disease, bird flu, swine flu, problems with deer. I see the pattern. Believe me. Do I sleep with a pillow between my knees? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends.
I'm getting sleepy now.
Yeah, it's getting pretty late here. For a lot of people, it's already 10:30 almost, so we got to jump off of here. We got to let these people go to bed tonight. All right, let's pray. Father, we thank you so much for being so good to us, Lord. We've had a great chat tonight. We've been blessed by the people tonight. They've been really good and been very generous tonight. A lot of good questions, and I pray that we was able to catch what we could. Sometimes I know we can't get every question, but it blesses us to be able to bless other people. And Father, the people just don't realize what a blessing they are to us because it's just unexplainable how much they mean to us. And Father, tonight I want to pray. There's been some people on that's lost loved ones. I've actually walked down that road myself, and I can sympathize with them. But tonight I'm going to ask you to step in and to fill in that void for them, Lord, like you did for me. Father, it was one of those things I didn't think could ever happen. And you came in and filled the void spot for me, Father. And we have to understand that when we have you, we're actually never alone because you said you would never leave us and you would never forsake us, Father. And that's the one thing we have to lean on now. And for those that lost their loved ones, Father, we pray for them specifically tonight. And Lord, for those that are having surgeries, and I pray for those, Lord, that the doctor will guide the hands of during the surgeries, and that they'll come out on the other side doing better than they were and not have any kind of issues from it. And Father, those that are in the hospitals and have other types of illnesses and diseases and asthma problems and all kinds of things, mental issues, Lord, lots of times, whether it's caused by external things or internal things, Father. We pray for all these people that they can find healing for their bodies now. And Lord, as we think about the truckers and all that's going on in the country, Lord, the shutdowns and all this kind of stuff, the hyperinflation that's fixing to hit this country, and the loss of jobs, the loss of food, the loss of goods, and the extreme weathers that's fixing to start happening upon this nation. I just pray for everybody as we endure all these things, Lord, that we'll be able to find a happy medium in it, and we'll be able to figure out how to survive all these hard coming times that lie ahead of us now. Bless us all financially and physically, Lord, so that we're able to afford the things that we need, and Lord, that we have the strength to make it through the day. And then when it comes time for our gardens this year, I pray that you'll watch over them and bless them, that they might produce, and they might produce abundantly, but we might have for the lean times that lay ahead of us now. Forgive us, we failed you in the kingdom of heaven. We ask this in Christ's name. Amen.
All right.
Let's see here.
I'm just trying to finish up, but I can't. My eyes are messing up.
Let's see. I didn't get to read some of those up there. People are requesting more about the Millennial Kingdom on Porch Time. And Miss Wanda, you're a lucky woman, they said. I guess it depends on how you look at it.
I think I'm pretty lucky.
You think you're pretty lucky?
Yep.
They hadn't had to live with me though, have they?
No, but still, I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah, guys, I'm now working on my hat here. My hat messed up on me.
You messing with your hat?
I'm messing with my hat. There we go.
Well, we've had fun. We've enjoyed today.
We have literally enjoyed today, yeah.
Barrett and Kelly were here and their son, and just had a good afternoon. And it's really always good to have fellowship with people, like-minded people.
That was the key.
Yeah.
Like-minded people.
And had a few good laughs there toward the just
we did
enjoying things, but
yeah.
It is always good to have people, and I get this Saturday night is always our time to spend with you guys because it's like a part of our life. It's been a part of our life for what, 5 years?
5 years now. We've done this every Saturday night. I mean, it's like
we hadn't missed very many.
No,
except for rain.
I think it's actually been a lot of time better than family time. You know, I mean.
Yeah, it is, and we consider this kind of like our family time and just enjoying doing stuff and talking because y'all get to talk among each other as well as ask questions, and we get to answer questions. Not that we know everything. It's just that
if I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know it.
If we know, we like to just tell you because, you know, you get your answers pronto here, where if you put it on a video, it may take us a day or two to get back, and sometimes we don't see every comment. Danny tries to read all of them, and I try to catch some, but he's mainly the comment catcher here.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I try to watch the comments as they go by.
There's a moon out tonight.
Oh, 2 nights ago, it was so bright and so beautiful. I mean,
yeah.
And guys, let me tell you something. How do I say this? This is just a little bit of extra on the end of it. In the next year, the moon is going to be getting closer to the earth than it's ever been before. The moon is actually beginning to wobble and shake. You're not going to hear this on the news anywhere. And as it wobbles and shakes, it's going to change the tides in the ocean. And our water levels are going to begin to rise at sometimes way higher than they should and go down way further than they should. So be looking for unusual things on the earth to start happening in the next year because of the moon. You're not going to hear anybody talking about this, but behind the scenes, there's a lot of talk going on about the wobbling of the moon.
Okay. So we're kind of ready.
Danny's beard is so pretty.
It's getting there. I mean, he's getting plum white. There ain't much
It's
dark.
all white now. I'm going to look like Santa Claus.
He did have some dark in here.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a little bit here.
I may have to dye it back black to see what it looks like.
Y'all look for a video y'all not expecting before long. Oh, my goodness.
Gail said they had an earthquake today in Virginia.
Wow.
It's all because of the moon. I'm going to tell you. There is well, I can't go into it here, but there's a reason for it, Gail.
Okay.
A pretty big
Donald
reason.
said he worried because Danny and I are too much alike. That's an understatement, D.
No, we're alike in some ways, but we're totally different in others.
Y'all too outspoken.
Yeah.
Just saying. Y'all don't mind telling people what y'all think.
Right. Right. I will say what I think in a heartbeat, which gets me in trouble a lot of times.
It always gets D in trouble.
It'd get me in trouble in a heartbeat.
All right. We got to go.
Okay.
I got I don't know how many orders to fill now.
Yeah, we got a lot of
I ain't
Etsy
doing them
orders.
tonight, y'all. I'm just going to tell y'all. I've been processing Etsy orders since yesterday. I processed I don't know how many this morning. Then I turned around right after lunch and processed a whole bunch more. And when Kelly and them left, I come in here and looked, and I had a whole bunch more Etsy orders. And they ain't getting done till tomorrow night or something. Y'all, I'll get them to you sometime next week. Just promising. Thank you guys for ordering, though.
We do appreciate y'all ordering. Danny, I just heard Stan Deo talking about the moon wobbling. Yeah, if you got the right sources behind the scenes, the information is there.
Yeah, you just gotta keep your eyes open.
You gotta keep your eye. And I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos or anything like that, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Let me just put it that way. Are you going to sell any cows? We probably are in the future, but not right this moment.
Soon.
Yeah, soon and very soon.
We got another one born.
We're going to meet the Lord. What?
We got another one going to be born within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Maybe. No, because she hasn't started bagging up yet. Probably still be close to 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I said 2 to 3.
Okay. All right. Can you do this, or do I have to do it?
Let's...
No.
This one?